Welcome, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air signs. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I'm doing a general reading for you for my earth signs. And I pull the Page of Swords as your overall energy. This is an interesting energy because my vision was focused on a sparkling, almost like a babbling brook. And what caught my attention was the sparkles, the intense sparkles that were being reflected in the water or by the sun. I'm not quite sure, but the theme of water is one that feels prescient, particularly during this full moon in Libra, during this total lunar eclipse, where for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, your water houses are being focused on. So this indicates to me that you're feeling a sense of having to watch and learn, almost having to spy, to strategize the way in which you find home, identify your home, the way you work with others, particularly intimates, to share resources, and the way that you are extracting meaningful lessons from your experiences as part of closing out various phases of your life. So I'm not sure how this exactly relates to you, but it seems to me that you're learning how to transition from one state to another, from one phase of your life to another, from one chapter of your life into another. And you're at a place where you never imagined you would be. And so as a result of that, you have been wise enough to recognize the limits of what you know in this particular regard. And it has a lot to do with your feelings, your emotions, the way that you're anchored in your soul, the way that you validate your emotions or use your emotions to validate what is right for you. This is you using your skill, right? Air sign, the intellect, the ability to communicate, open to new ideas, the facility with language and communication to find out, to do the work, to research, to have the conversations, to interview those, however that's relevant to gaining the information that you need. This is a general reading, so it isn't going to resonate with every air sign. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. And I want to welcome all of you that are new and familiar with me. I appreciate you taking the time. And in your present energy, the Queen of Pentacles is describing this real attention to results, this real desire to be productive, to be particularly in tune with the complexity of the times or the environments that you're in. And I think for most of you, you will resonate with the complexity of our current social environment. So this is to be productive, to find the appropriate opportunities where they exist, and to stay in tune with what the needs of your coworkers, your clients, your audiences are, as well as your own needs. I do think with this energy, you are happiest when you are doing the work that you love. This indicates you're doing work that you certainly believe in, that gets results, but it is about the work that you love, that you, in the sense of, I'm here to do this work. This is not love in the sense that I make lots of money or I am rich and famous kind of energy. This is more about the work that I'm called here to do, which in fact is hard work. and I work hard at what I do. I take pride in everything that I do because I do work hard at it. I do take it seriously. And I know that I am a part of something bigger than myself. So this feels like the present mantra that is helping to motivate you, helping also to give you pleasure. Because one of the beauties of the queens is this ability to receive love, to receive recognition, to receive praise without deferring it or dismissing it, which I believe may be a tendency for many of you to do, to minimize the contribution you've made because, oh, shucks, it ain't nothing. Or you recognize the work that everyone else does and you actually are not allowing yourself to be acknowledged, even though that's what you seek. So this is really about grounding in the work that you do and with the pride that you have in your work. In the past, the Devil card. This is all about the way that you have been supported or supported the status quo in the past. How you may have been a valued member of the status quo because of your commitment to work, producing results, not necessarily taking a lot of credit for what you do, but definitely taking instructions, knowing how to take instructions and following them out. Uh, um, this is you understanding that you were actually just moving along to someone else's drum, that you were not in control or being sufficiently directed, that you actually helped other people to become successful in a way that didn't always help you be successful, and that you actually weren't even aware that you were doing that until you innovated an idea, you promoted a vision, you had something that you wanted to contribute, and it wasn't heard or understood, or you were actually ridiculed for that. In the present or in the future, that's my son going out the door. In the future, the Page of Pentacles is really you dropping the pretense that you are obligated to work for someone else without the appropriate recognition or reward or credit for what it is you're doing. You realize that you have all the skills to make others successful. It's time for you to use those skills on your own behalf. This is radical for many of you. It's something that you're still wrapping your head around, right? That I think the idea of having your own thing, your own business, your own practice, a side hustle, is not something that is unfamiliar with you, for you. But I do think that the idea that you have the skills that you need to make yourself a success has helped you to understand that you need to start back at square one. And square one isn't necessarily in the basement or the dungeon or, in some obscure location. It's simply planning out and taking a step, looking at the landscape and pacing yourself regarding how you're going to utilize your skills to get where you want to go. And it's so much easier to follow someone else's plan and be in opposition to it while you're implementing it. It's much harder to create your own game plan, business plan, a strategy for obtaining whatever information, visibility, resources that you need. So it's not a standstill, although in some decks the knight is indicated as at a standstill, but this really is about you stopping and owning your own vision of success. If this reading is resonating for you, please like this video, please share this with others, and please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I pulled the Forgiveness card. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Wow, that comes really clear through with the Devil card. And what comes to mind is this idea of working really hard, being an instrumental part of someone else's success, someone else's business empire, and recognizing how not only you were perhaps played or undermined or not recognized appropriately, but how you took it for so long. How did you stay in situations where you knew that you were not going to be profiting by your work, your effort, your success, your ability to do your job well? Why did you go along with that? Why were you happier to complain, to be angry, to be hostile or resentful, seething underneath, rather than simply recognize the limits of whatever you were doing and simply allow yourself the place to work towards your own success? There's a lot of reasons why we put up with stuff we don't like, of course. But I do think more fundamentally, you're recognizing the way in which you have regarded others as powerful rather than yourself. And forgiving others is one thing, but forgiving yourself can be more challenging. In the present, the Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the Hermit card. And the Empress card, wow, this is really powerful. I am just feeling the sense of incredible pride for you. This idea that you have done the work to go inside and to ask yourself what it is you need for your own growth, expansion, and success, your own abundance. You've done that work. You have come to a greater acceptance of who you are and what your gifts are in the world. And in many ways, this is where the Hermit is a healer. This is your own experience of standing on the right to be who you are. And of course, with the beautiful Empress, the mother of all of the queens, you are squarely in the place of understanding your power authentically, knowing that, in fact, this ability to help others be successful is because of you. You're a key. And the way in which you understand that you can do this for anyone, you certainly can do it for yourself, is causing you tremendous pride. This is a series of revelations. This is something that isn't coming easily. This is where your sense of pride and feeling good, feeling supported by yourself, that knowledge of your power, the knowledge of your skills, the knowledge of how the work you've done over the years has honed your intuition, your attunement with your colleagues, your attunement to market forces, to the needs of your audience. This is what your reward again becomes. Just like the Queen of Pentacles, only more so with the Empress, of course. The process of being productive, of maximizing the harvest, is complete and utter joy to you. This is true for the creative process as well as any business skills or social skills that you implement in the world. In the past, the Devil card is clarified by the Nine of Air, which is the Nine of Swords in other decks, and the Queen of Cups. This is taking me back to the beginning of the reading, the sense that you have are really working on your emotions, your emotional maturity, your openness to being reciprocal, to claiming your desire. This is a huge growth for you. There are many things that you did not believe you were entitled to. And as a result of that, you have suffered, you have assumed an unimbalanced authority or responsibility in relationships where you were expected to and expected yourself to give, to provide, to make way for others, to be an open book and not to expect reciprocal aid, treatment, or attention from others. This feels like an all-out trauma that you have experienced and processed, and really it has shut you down. In fact, your talent and skill are so outsized to the environment that you were possibly conditioned to. It's shown so brightly to others that they felt their work was to tone you down, shut you down. It wasn't always done maliciously. Sometimes it was. I'm saying malicious in the sense of competitively, so that others saw you as rivals. They were threatened by your power, your intelligence, your ability to pierce through complex ideas and to make sense of them. This is something that others kept you in that zone on their behalf for as long as possible. And really healing this has been your work in the past. This has been the key to your healing. All of the ways that you've explored these difficult emotions of shame, of embarrassment, uh, uh, of just humility, being humiliated, has helped you to understand how valuable your emotions are, not to be pushed down, not to be squenched or squashed, and that your true growth, your true maturity has come through the way that you're learning to handle your feelings and the relationships that generate those. This has been quite a path for you in the past. This has been overwhelming in many ways. In the future, the Page of Pentacles is clarified by the Eight of Air and the Hierophant. So here we are in our head again. There's so much that you have experienced, so much you've learned, so much you've done on behalf of others that you can get out of your present sense of power by anxiously reviewing or listening to all the voices in your head. So this is where you get taken out of your intuition by worrying about what others have done or said in the past or in the present. The people that offer you unsolicited advice at every turn. This is something that can obscure your ability to find the peace and the composure, the space to do your own visioning. And the Hierophant is about, nevertheless, your ability to do your own visioning immediately nominates you to this role of knowledge giver, knowledge sharer, teacher, mentor. You've experienced, whether you've been a success or not, whatever that means to you, you've gained so much experience that you can mentor others on this path in a way that helps you grow, helps you identify your skill set and your experience, what you've learned from that, and also helps others to gain the confidence and knowledge to move along the direction that you're now moving into. This is about a commitment to learning, to growth, understanding that that's the key to your life. Your commitment to your own success has taken you to a new level of awareness of how the information you share, you communicate, is deeply helpful not only to others, but to your community, to your organization, to your work, to your community, if I didn't say that already. I'm going to finish this reading, air signs, with a crystal oracle, and hope that this reading is giving you some insight. And I pulled the green ocean jasper, and this is over at the heart chakra. So this is important as we're talking about our emotions, and the key word is connection. Father Divine and Mother Earth, make love in your heart. If you've enjoyed this content, check out more here. And until next time, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, namaste.